This meeting is being recorded.
Hi, I wanted to discuss my field practicum reflection for week 3. Um, um, Something that I thought was going to relate this week to what we've been learning about is especially in honors geometry with Mrs. Montoya. We were going over um, the sine, cosine, and tangent identities, trigonometric identities, and I feel like it relates to the Smiles task in a way because on their homework and in classwork they had to kind of figure out how to solve different sides of the triangle using their similar triangles proportions. So that was pretty cool. Setting up the proportions of the 30, 60, 90 triangles and the 45, 45, 90 triangles kind of helps them to have another way to solve a problem, and also helps to kind of I think facilitate their memory once they get into trig identities. And they went over along that note. They went over SOHCAHTOA, which is a verbal mnemonic. I thought that was awesome because in class to see that because in class we didn't actually our group anyway had more trouble coming up with some verbal implementations other than just kind of going through your thought process, explaining your thought process out loud, um, or writing down your steps. It was cool to kind of see verbal mnemonics as a tool to memorize things. That was nice. Also, we went over. The students got like 10 minutes in the beginning of class to make this. It's like a window. There was like a plastic in front of this, but it helped them to see which side is opposite and which side is adjacent when they fold it. I just thought that was a cool, tangible um, like project kind of thing, activity that they got to make. Yeah, it's cool because it's literally geometry and it's helping with geometry. So, um, yeah, let's see. Um, so that's kind of some of my reflections for the honors geometry regarding the algebra class with Luciana. We were going over, let's see, um, we were going over factoring, and in the factoring, they have a diamond method, they call it, which is kind of like the students draw an X, and then if A is 1, then they can just write the factors. And then there's another case where if A is not 1, they have another method, which is a box, which I thought these were cool visual tools, like to be able to just kind of see the different factors and then pull out greatest common factors to complete the factoring exercise. I did notice a lot of students kind of get confused, um, like when to use a box, when to use a diamond. So I did go around the class and just try and clarify, like, okay, first you have to decide if A is 1, then you can kind of skip the box. If A is not 1, then you would use the box, and then you would take out the GCF. That we also had to go over like if the signs are positive and negative, a lot of students would mess that part up. So I gave them another verbal implementation where they could say, okay, ask yourself what factors multiply to make A times C that also add to make B. So that was another cool way to use verbal for them. I think that helped a lot of the students to that one verbal sentence helped them to kind of solve that problem and then assign the signs. And then we went over another case where if b is 0 and you have difference of squares, and then if b is 0, then you can just kind of take the square root of both and then have a plus two factors, x plus a, x minus a. Um, and then we are trying to now go into how that's going to relate to zeros and how we set each factor to 0. And I think it's good to show the students like each parentheses, or a lot of times they also forget if there's an x term out in front, and that could also be 0 and make the whole thing 0. So yeah, so that's kind of my summary of what I've kind of learned in algebra and geometry, honors geometry, and I'm going to teach a lesson soon on radical simplification. Um, and that's going to be coming up soon. And we'll see how that goes. Thank you.